Alright, ebusi ebe mo kwa bebiem e di aba Sportslink Ghana so Hon.Kofi Kofi Adams wasa kwa kwato bomb we die ano edin papa na enrada enam de update dodo na ebro say officially Hon.Kofi Kofi Adams be remu no ne GFA akwakoye meeting me the update ne ebro na ene Hon.Kofi as part of na juma oye as sports minister no ene remu ewo asempa ekodi nkomo na Hon.Kofi kodi nkomo no ehwo apɛ na Hon.Kofi akwakoto bomb na bomb ni nyina ere say Hon.Kofi say hwe Ghana Blasters no enye enipa bi adea eje Ghana for dia enti wona e manage Blasters ni mpukura no omo team ni enye omo dia. The team is for the ordinary Ghanaians enti no obi bia emfantu ni team ma GFA ni enye omo adwene say Blasters enye omo dia na omo na handle Blasters ni no anything about Blasters bia no enye omo dia o se da bi yemfanfa Sportslink Ghana so na yema obia ente se Blasters no ye nyina ye dia yenti Hon.Kofi nsem a okai
Minister of State what you say na ye man adwuma converting ye so any in no if I ne and officially Minister start adwuma na Minister start adwuma also den ho be the headquarters of Ghana Sports what you say also about the headquarters of Ghana Sports Emma Ghana for eteninka na ye di nhira no Emma no na ye tanechi man bo adwuma wadre Emma Ghana Sports so enya ne tampa edifra etiano pay we are honored as a minister atenase na yene no ebenya nkomo twetwe live here anasempa 94.7 yenko na fe yenko di nkomo yenko chia no na fe yene ne nkomo no yen hya asem araba na pay utimika good morning
minia
me sure say ohuye pa
well yami adum yehuye ode eneso ache ti yedinda sibema no sena oye ni bia no eneso ode ache etimi asori die ya betina o platform isu edin komo yire na esefata se yemfa ndase emfama itwedi amponyankopon ewonia waye because bebre na yengina kodaye but enyo bia na wenya no sa ebi wo ho a sisia bebi a oda no na oda bebi foforo ebi wo ho so a all sorry no afede o say yede ne to ambulance no yede ne ko hospital but say mini wo yitimi aba betina ha ye nia wo say ye ya no say yede ndase emanyankopon nti yede ndase beman ewo eneso a odi ache
very well Ghana for nyina say Mema, congratulations for being appointed as the Minister of Sports and Recreation. Almost say a novelty, a ministry. And it's a assurance for the first time as the first person to be appointed. Almost say more about so. Now you wish you well.
Medasi, Medamuni so I say. And with the platform so as of course Moamoka and I believe say Ubiaso Ajiatum there is the headquarters of what sports.
Yeah.
And for all other stations, Ubeko Hono now about 6 Omoye normal news. Asana Omoaba later no Moaba sports also. But Momudi idea Moamobie who say about 6 open say uti sports news Papa Bia from across the world, any Ghana so I no say what they would dial no edit to
fantastic.
Madam was
yeah sure so what just Mr. High the headquarters of Ghana Sports
no the no
fantastic okay and see we form Honorable Kofi Adams and what's in no aiding come Honorable with a minim per the interview no and near disco for bidding come say from Batman didn't what you to me
oh a disco for the omutum edim bebre depending on the angle ocean binumu beto terms bia will be used. I was a science teacher, specifically biology na major and TV ho especially the non-science class no omote terms bisa na aye the for new amount now it should be the basis for a name for you. But usually students some moment within us we fan say ebufua e hona Ebeka ho for a very long time. But me there me, I will accept it. The next time mama foforo, I will accept it. So they kept changing. Thinking say omubenya a particular one omubo enyeme there, but still all are accepted.
Wow.
And you wish at this school students now, depending on which year and what happened, more. But Batman became a bit popular. Became a bit popular with them. I know spread it very wide, okay. on campus. Wow. But I accepted it like that. Maybe someone I'm from Batman. I just left it at that.
No pajamas,
my pajamas, so. Well, it went on and on till
wow.
And I go around the world and I meet them.
Wow.
My students, I meet them in Ghana here. They are doing so much. Of course, South Africa, they are there working in very high institutions. In Europe, you find them. In America, you find them. And I'm happy. Because those times are catch on say, yeah. But today, they have come to appreciate, say, Nanya was molding them to become greater and better persons in future, and they are happy for it, and I'm equally very happy. So, Bibia would you be called hospital, Uko Pio Hono, not a student, a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, and you get all kinds of attention, and I'm grateful. And you, Medas Santa Foni in our Swasi.
Okay, and Santa Fono Batman Akasa and Tiana Mosman. Okay, Honorable Yanshe Yankomoni Edina say now you are the Minister of Sports and Recreation in the Republic of Ghana. Amanfo Ebisa say Kofi Adams kra no ne hwan ne background is saying ne sporting background kra is saying on Okraku school no na sports ben of fato no so mame found chance in few. Let us know a bit about your background, more especially your sporting background.
Well, first and foremost, mame kase
Asempa FM.
I'm not me a technical person for any sport.
Okay.
Me a policy person, a policy implementation. Say, who command leadership of ministry and sports. So,
okay.
In most cases, in here say, who are Kasan so obey a sports person, and now technical sports person. Because Sesane the Anya Rebecca said, who call Ministry of Defense and ye or say, oh, yes, soldier.
Yeah.
Who call Ministry of Health or say, oh, yeah, doctor. Maybe who call any of the other, maybe who call chieftaincy and religious affairs or say, one Kasan, we maybe Ohini and now, we or Sofo and now, we Imam and Sana, we to me then alcohol. But would you say, oh, my leadership? So, it doesn't matter, say, who kasa sports, and now we active player in the sports field, and so now with me then ama leadership. Of course, Ubibiara, there are two things that growing up you can't rule out.
Okay.
Music and sports. Anye yikra. If you were not an active participant in terms of the act, maybe you will be an active supporter and a follower.
Yeah.
And let's say one go school. Hardly in those days, the way a school system is organized, when you be a obeko through school, obeka say, "Omidie man family one year then sports." And I was a bit involved in sports at the very basic levels. I did some athletics. I was a long jumper for my school. I did javelin. I did shot put.
Okay.
I did 200 meters.
Wow.
So my yes, I mean, at the foundation and basic level, but manfano as a professional. But I followed sports also. But may be more of political and policy communication persons.
Okay.
Mon frame me that say me met na the ultimate sports show no so that. mo frame me say nka yembeka sports ho asema nka mo be hu say there is sports in you because you call even general program that maybe matters relating to sports but you can sports ho asema.
Wow.
But it may be more and more the sports ecosystem no why mo say obi metna mo platform so and discuss sports and onka
onim sports no
onka sports but you may be deceiving yourself. Maybe you call even into details kra no say ebinom kra o mo say o mo ka sports ho asem kra no there are many other sports they know nothing about other than football.
Okay.
Obi wa say me a sports person na so football nko anu
and onim
we yin free football e de no any other sport
ayira
onim how onim even how they score how they onim she fan ho na so because okasa e wo football so maybe you are specialized wo hunti or say onu so ye sports person.
Very well.
I am not a sports minister for just football.
Okay.
And I just Black Stars.
Yeah.
Me a sports minister for sports and recreation.
Yeah.
Me a minister or responsible for both football, for athletics, for boxing, for badminton, for all the sports and also then yema leadership over. And me a more than prepared.
More than prepared
to run that industry, to run that space to success.
Okay. But I hope say who that sporting background no so kebetimi area madwuma no etimi easier for you. Maybe for example maybe a ball game to the highest level, hockey, table tennis, volleyball, badminton, high jump.
Ebeboa to some extent.
Yeah.
But we've had such instances also in the past and current. Ediaba. I didn't play any of these sports to the professional level. But me share with say leadership I was say yedema ministry no. So that ebema ya yeni I was say ye. But the bema. That one I can assure you say mambo ball anko professional level. Maybe me ball no for recreational purposes.
Yeah.
Where mambo volleyball and Franco professional level, maybe for recreational purposes. Basketball, mambo and Franco professional level, maybe for recreational purposes. But I understand me always say yede manipa always sports.
Okay.
I understand me always say tibia omuwum e kwan a always say ye faso to be able to motivate them. Now I understand that. And I believe say here say one can be a practitioner.
Okay.
But you can also be a listener. We be a for now we year. You can become even better than Ubia Waye then what practices sports because we be from different sources.
Okay.
Now what can you now abom. But Ubi Suba no feel say minima e manipa no unsua bibi foforo because wa ye na adwen oba no o say o minim.
Okay.
Say no o say me ye no enti on time nye na so say o tie na that type of person also could be found wanting woman wa queen say onkoye bibia. So I know, yes, I haven't been a professional in any of the sporting discipline.
Okay.
But be prepared say remember that type of required leadership.
Very well.
You be mobilizing the civil servants, the technical people, any fans,
okay.
Any more associated, more within the sports ecosystem.
Okay.
The sports media is part. The sport is also business. The sport is science. The sports medicine. There is sports nutrition. Ninginano or say we make sure say the focus beko all areas.
Okay.
And you say nipa sorry keke now maybe or bubble no bubble sir David. You must be interested in nipa ni groove. Okay. Even eduani bang and also nipa ni then
nutrition.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
There's sports nutrition. And you be say obia sorry keke now once you identify a talent now we say this is talent ewo you must nurture that talent and develop it. Developing it includes and not limited to even a journey and
very well. Very well.
The science around the sports, we must go much more deeper into it.
Okay.
The management around sports, or say you go deep into it. The business of sports, or say you go deep into it.
Very well.
The communication of sports, or say you go deep into it. My enjoy bibia and fama just for happening sake.
Okay.
Bibia no say methodic. Anopa ubetina the sports show ultimate sports show here. What is the agenda? As the free opportunity sports war to be discussed anopa if you are any enumreno a kwan ben so na yafa I make sure say that free platform that communication it fits into a certain master planner generate total interest in sports. Being now a part of leadership ourselves.
But with this vision and ambition you should have a very unique skill set you are bringing on board. And of course, this is a sports and recreation ministry, a newly created ministry, unlike the one before. No, what unique skill set and a one kasa ekutawa with the ministry?
Well, first and foremost, Medika culture will say every leader must be a good listener.
Okay.
Or say we will be a uti, and you must analyze and know. I will say we consultation. I will say uti. I will say we take a decision.
Okay.
Decision time is not the time for say winning for engage. Know when to sow, know when to nurture, and know when to harvest. The harvesting time and sowing time.
Very well.
And sowing time so harvesting time.
Okay.
Or say I say we bibia. So one attribute, one quality I will say as a leader is to be able to listen. But know when to do the listening.
Okay.
Because a true timer also we take quick decisions. Then yes, I'm Reno, and I was saying I will consult no. So one, I have that quality of listening and listening to even Obi describe say nipe imenti na asem no on pe wasem and on pe sports no na asem no. I don't see the person as such. If feel say nipa no or bibia utia ebeboa. I've always been advising people say ebi wo or kind car na say when you accidents and when you car crash, as sometimes people would prefer it be called once or twice, and we bested tie once moving on a highway at maybe 100 kilometers per hour, and between 80 and 100 kilometers per hour. Either nipano car no accident no koye near fatal.
Okay.
And otumi manage car no makano ekujina yi. That person, whether the accident was or the crash was near fatal, say nipano wa bon onni hwea or the beboa wo we maybe driver fufuro awoba.
Okay, I get it.
You can learn something from sir driver. Again na oyeye entia car no obi enante 100 kilometers per hour ne tie be best nanso otumi so car no saa maka no ye den ekugina yi a hwe ensi obi so enam be 70 kilometers tie ne best pe na accident na ebe pie free saa best of time na akwakoye fatal na near fatal before be pra ebinim kura be famu. There is something to learn even from that person. And to me, me fan say, oh, and the idea wa bon. Oba ye no wa achieve results bia. Maybe bibinti na wa achieve results no. Wutie no. Na nipa no ye genius so a wo behu.
Okay.
Obebie mu ama we mu say anamo say na me two ye
okay
na ede saa de ye den ede baaye so wo tu anamo no bi ma menka say baby memfa ho but wonam ho na wo hia saa de ye a have this at the back of your mind.
Okay.
So you need to listen. Apart from that, also, you must be very decisive.
Decisive.
Yeah. Decisive leadership and firm. Men dane to say leave. From a boss say now one from now woko. A mu boss say now woko because sports one thing Hanopabia, like I said, Ubenya when you cry close to 200 radio station or more or make us sports once. Area pay another 150.
Yeah.
And you may pay another 100.
Yeah.
Or more cash sports once. Obia one the perspectives. Obia one the angle. Or the eba. You are sitting there. Remember, you must be able to listen and decide and push the agenda. Knowing say this is the ultimate objective that we need. And maybe at this time no enye palatable. Would think of when now the media example or most times say obi oha because I love granite soup.
Okay.
And me the nkatie the example say ye ma nkatie say Okraku Gfa. Maybe ye de ya ma obeye bonsia mienu say Okraku Gfa be open cutting kwanti why wajin say o na bonsia mienu ya menye ide ma memfa ba konfa enyen kwan na because me pen kwan no ene ubedi no just for one day and a maximum 2-3 days.
Okay.
But sa two boss ni nyina udi kudua ubenya bebre enti wotia you will be able to feed on sankatenkwan ubedia for a very long time. So there are times in talent development, sports development, policy initiatives, policy bi wo ho a emma resource ene ya na so ye because ochina e shasi say ede abanu ipia ebe pie sa wo beti sa for a very long time. And that is one thing in sports.
Okay.
Ebi wo ho a ye me too much say ye pay results immediate. Immediate. Enti ni owo say ye ebe boa ye ochina no na ye jayo no esinche na ye de ni nyina ye de egu enadie.
Okay.
Ube hu na ochina de so no na asai kra. And that explains what has happened to our sports now. And we need to, I will say, then, resetting.
Okay.
Now, reset, I will say, when you be a over kukudru, so that, enko, yes, say, ebinuma or mopen cutting quite no neya, or mu say, ukra, 2 bowls of granite now.
I get your point.
Would you wait here and your china mobebre a combat dimunina? You must be firm and at the same time fair, but find a way of carrying everybody to along.
Okay. But honorable, the book actually as a listening leader before your appointment, not saying that the Ministry of Youth and Sports, any the ministers are passing through that ministry. Not saying our picture. How did you see them working at that particular ministry and then Sakraya Bay?
Well, everybody will be our style. I normally don't want to comment about Omo Abako, and I believe say they achieve near Omo SRT Omo say Omo be achieve. Me so ene meba with my own style and ways of doing things, hoping say I would achieve me so me initiatives and I me target objectives now. I should be able to achieve them. So me person meko so much into predecessors.
But they have achieved according to you. They have achieved.
They have achieved what possibly they set out for themselves. And mean to me say the person is a failure because nipa no make us or a failure. Maybe that's what he said to achieve himself. Yeah, go school no be o no need the say ono so go school no be. Sa no why na adwin say me pass it through many schoolmates man kono say many grades bi Enti se wo ti ho na nipa no nya FF ana onya DD ana EEB na wo complain say nipa na anya dia. Maybe that's what the person set out to achieve. Wan ko ho say me kwa konya any excellent grades. Yeah. Ono ne grades na o set out to achieve no na we nya no. So as far as ono ye concern so me jai me juma me so member beye no me feel I'm sure those who understand the industry and those who also follow it, whether they understand or not, will be the best judges. Usually, I leave that to the followers,
the public. But Yanja on the area of recreation, very, very critical, because unlike before, Ministry of Youth and Sports, you know the emergence of sports and the youth and how it works. But this is a novel creation, sports and recreation. On the area of creation, recreation, but then you expect then the war under your sleeves are what they break Ghana for.
Well, when you say sports naturally is supposed to push your business angle of sports. Eddie Sika, any ejuma, Eddie ba directly. You were the health part of sports. Yes, sports now. Emma yare bibria eta eboye. Ehaye no. Esut me then eti. Eno na abrofo can say non-communicable and non-infectious diseases. Life habits diseases. They said maybe diabetes, being hypertensive, nyama enye communicable. Intumin free wo enko binuho. Sa yare no. Sports. Etumima esote.
Okay.
Then also, we have what we call the unification role of sports. Maybe school bi omuntemi nye ana woko kru bi so a ebisua bi nka ana clans bi and so on and so forth. It me fast through sports.
Okay.
A unite one. Ebi wo a sorry maintain me ho ase religious beliefs, sects. Now mo get me fast through sports. Edin kabomi eden eba. Now sports are competitive.
Okay.
No, for purposes of competition.
Okay.
Any the excellence of it, and no. And now, was sports are no for the unanimity, inclusivity, any the joy of it, and also then so the recreation as sports, that component for the enjoyment of it, not for the
competition aspect of it. Okay.
So, for example, mo platforms muta encouraging people say, then you should come and be involved in walks, involved in this, involved in that. Ninginano a part of recreation.
Aerobics activity.
Ebi wo mo say corporate sports. Corporate sports. They are not doing it for competitive nature and the excellence of it.
Okay.
They are doing it for the recreational purpose of it. Achieving those other set objectives sports also then Eddie Breyer. So we're going to encourage mass participation, more like, and this who you maybe would have been considered maybe as some form of work. You can use sports recreation. Say nipa yes, the same thing but recreationally. So Cape Face clubs,
okay,
other community sports activities, centers are just to walk around. Unfortunately, no, adia baako a yaye wo Ghana ha ne say ya say yen public space any parks ebetumi aboa saa ade no. So my ministry have a responsibility to drive that agenda. And through collaborating with Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and all other relevant ministries, we will push and bring back the idea of community parks any community centers of recreation.
Okay.
So that obi sorry obi tumi anantie firi ni fie alcohol onim se o mikopie ho maybe obi so beba ho a yebobo ware as for fun.
Okay.
Yebeto spa for fun and a draft for fun and yebeye even storytelling for the fun of it. Yebeye pilolo for the fun of it. All kinds of games, and some of these recreational, traditional, and cultural games here for the recreation. Yebe to me are nature.
Okay.
I sporting ama ababedane even a competitive sport because sports bebre ayeko other amine bebre ediaba in ababeye Olympic competitive sports aye compete for the excellence of it, na ye cultural and traditional something.
Okay.
Eno mutumi atoma amaya ebenwon. So 2-3 countries join, they start, they compete with it. Ababeye a continental something. Ube na obiswe rem na ababeye Olympic standard sport.
Very well.
Yes, so you bet to me anature bisa.
Very well.
Atoma Togo, Atoma Benin, Atoma Côte d'Ivoire, Atoma Maya. Anyone here was some culturally related activities. Ube 4-5 countries in West Africa. Now be from other African countries are Adane continental sport and getting into what? The Olympic standard sports.
Very well. But Minister, then it means that on the part of recreation there, a long-term project. Other than that, just adapted certain centers to be a national center. And as will be gym B, will be center be a bit any recreational be maybe adapted near the how are we going to start it? Because anticipate a football team or a federation where it's for all Ghanaians. How are we going to start that one?
It's there already. They just say in Pejano and he also President Mahama say young man with a certain level of focus.
Okay.
And when I make look, radio and TV stations be mu promote this idea. You are trying to do something on your own. Ubeko Krubiswa, who drive like weekends are Ubehu keep fit clubs be year or more keep fit activities.
Yeah.
Ebi wo ayi mensa say now omo ho they climb the mountain and then descend.
Yeah.
Omo traditional areas ahimfobi omo to me mobilize say omo sheda set up a debi maybe around the festival period say ye be ye bibisa they do it sometimes once a year ebinumu ye every quarter.
Okay.
So it is already there, but and yet coordinated in a way. So we want to have it properly and so well coordinated.
Okay.
So that you bring a kind of level of mass participation. The structures now already, and I had the anything America say we'll do this in collaboration with the local government setup because you be here, we'll be here assembly members, unit committee members, municipal and district and metropolitan chief executives, regional ministers, and so on and so forth. Omo and omo share in parks so. And we'll use some of these parks and gardens for some of these activities. The military will have to collaborate with them because almost
yeah.
Now they have their own games. You see, when we begin to encourage school sports, now you need military for you need other security agencies collaborate here. You are sure of getting some of these talented persons enter some of these services. So that enko bano say ye jai ubia sa yenim say afibia ye be recruitment a certain number of slots will be reserved for sports persons. A be reserved for them enti omu ewo ho they earn something and continue to train.
Okay.
They are earning something omonye juma omoyen the wonderful performance of the GRA ladies, royal ladies, performance for 5 continuous times. Winning hockey championship, continuously. I am sure that performance is also because Omuwo a certain level of what income support. because omunim say anye yukra bosumi bia no omuji kakra. So they are training, there's some training, support and push. You can imagine say all other sectors and also ASR, Ghana will begin to produce more talents and more professionals. You focus on. We'll go very, very far.
Very, very far. I'm sure for FM 94.7 da hon eti nkonya so Honorable Kofi Adams, newly appointed Minister of Sports and Recreation for the Republic of Ghana. Enti watena se yedi nkomo we de entity ani keke ene ya sha se ya yede nkomo ne ba. Ushia me live on Facebook ya Asempa 94.7 share me messages na emra questions emra contributions in amra na fe yenye bread na fe yemisa honorable nam say oba headquarters we na say ye din shira na ta na chi wi na say asa headquarters no oba no enti ye koso nkakran kakasa. Okay, honorable yem fa no with all the work nyina no we are talking about financing and resources, and they come to mind. In fact, the NPP government, the NDC government, omunyina failing to establish the sports fund. They said ye work get fund supporting the educational centers. What you are saying regarding financing or resourcing the sports ministry and of course the recreation aspect of it, you know, how are you going to cope with that? Sikara ko find hifa kwa be so be generating revenue for you to be able to do all these things and the way so.
Well, very clear say without Sikano Nyama Bebre remain in the store of Nipano body or Najim, or say we lucky na say Nipano Chura, it remains on the shelves. So funding a key. In the manner you say education in here.
Yeah.
So President Rawlings Abreso, get fund.
Get fund, yeah.
You introduce also another health fund to support health. You know? We must see sports as even more important.
Okay.
Because you investing in sports, yeah. Look, you who investing in sports now, you more recreational based activities. Would diabetic patients, you know, because the more you do physical activity, you know, the less you are prone to in yare na emma asichira yare akumahu yare ye Spanish bebre ye de krasa nro
yeah
then so you produce healthier nation and so health sports fund no ade back one almost say ye did agro. I think the time is now.
Okay,
if there is ever any time no say our passion, which is football, has gone down. And then your football no at the form cry.
At the form, yeah.
Say maybe you to make a cry say it's almost getting into a hole. Andrew Abi Simbum, yeah, the form cry.
Yeah, the form team.
Cry. Yeah, the form cry. We the only reason we celebrate is our past glories. Because Senka Omaya by 82, you win the African Cup of Nations 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Yatina Huama we recently we can only boast of a silver. So you passion at the form.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean say because you passion at the form in Crawford GDA any or any or pair or more edema sports no and so anti. I think that this is the time or say yetre or edema yen sport.
Okay.
In terms of yen contribution, say ye sika film, say ye ideas, say ye bibia was say ye to support our sports generally. My yen can say because the football is down into football na kasa kwa yen to mean pejabium. And now other sports also anyhow I was say ye de more edema. I want to request and appeal to Ghanaians generally and to more especially more and more sports media no say ye encourage a lot more support to our sports. This is the time we need it the most. As you say, near maybe a bit of okra now or buakakra now at a point, you know, wayama afedia or bedane or yarefo.
Yeah.
That's the time the person needs love and support the most. Me say, well, our sports is sick. That's the truth.
Our sports is sick.
It's sick, and needs to be healed. But in the healing process, you know, or say odo. That is why Obi Yareda Hospital,
Okay.
Now the achedie akwa komano. It's all part of showing love because ebua healing.
But sports is sick and I say football is sick. The entirety.
Well, because the MBBA, the Yahoo DNA and Sika, akwa koshe football. Even in football, cry a senior national team. And he say, ono yaresa na ka.
I get it.
So that is why, in terms of investment, you know, or say fair to all the other sports.
Very well.
The less funded sports, you know, this is the time out because omona football says here away yenya trophy bia medal bia in free hono. The other sports here na ekuraye. Other sports here na ekuraye. And the funding to those other sports, you know, say yepija. But because yano in the past, inti ama kesi da form na omuso da form.
Okay.
So we need to do something for all of them. All of me sure say kesi no so ye prudent kakra ye betumi asevi kakra edi akwa koshe
the others. Okay. Okay. But honorable, regarding the sports fund, me sure say a idea and son will be free ministry or no will be making sure say na yensaka a sports fund.
If that is the only thing that I would do, so that maybe future leaders of that ministry, that sector, benya funding, nyafe no mube kwa koso line. Convincing finance minister say yes, so my BB, and usually when there are competing needs, acquire minister say acquire the whole I will say and inya ayaresabia bibri I will say yisi and I yiwie education for ejina ho mo cost strike or mo yesi now also be bisa for other sports this now omunye the effect, but sports contribute a lot. Look here, one professional player Shika Yetiano any the investment or more a year or kronum, it helps build our GDP.
Okay.
Currently, from the figures are many, we are not doing so much because our sports too
is going down.
Has gone down. But to me, and I say we are sure say we can contribute even bigger to the GDP. Here we share history. Anytime we are doing well at the professional level of all sports, you know,
okay.
Now the grassroots sports, you know, now koso gidi. The school sports koso. So out of that, the benya players, the amateur to play the junior levels.
Okay.
Out of that, the benya omuswa ombeba bebo yen local professional leagues.
Okay.
Then you sustain. So two things: grassroots sports koye, league you know koye. We say national and our national level, national teams, you know, almost money. But look at our leagues. They are in a sorry state. So we discuss league na Bonibi na AC. Not much. It's not attractive. And he also BB to be able to drive corporate support.
Okay.
To our clubs and to have investment in the leagues so that league and also be attractive to the fans. Mesre. And again, I can only appeal whilst we work on improving the standards in terms of playing pitches, stadium facility, What say ye Juma to improve on that?
Yeah.
Let's try the farm base and say Omunchire Odo and farm various teams.
Okay.
The Kotoko fans, the house fans, the Ebusian drafts of old, the Sekendi, Hazakes,
Samates, the nations,
the Samates, Legon cities, and all of them. Ubia Yeden, Enche Odo and Fama team. Let's show love. Let's be present to cheer them.
Very well.
Let's contribute financially. The cycles, omo ensorium, omo keka omo. The clubs need that support.
Very well.
They need it because enosobeboa in terms of improving some of the playing facilities clubs and then omo. In a way, it goes to support them. It goes to support even their equipment. Their clubs and the buses also because the fan base is not contributing much. And I pray that I'm successful in convincing my colleagues, especially the finance minister. Say, Ishishebia ewo edema omo the creative industry. No?
Okay.
Yenye bisum farmer sports, even if for a certain period.
Okay.
So you can say, okay, the idea you be mamu for maybe the next 5 or 10 years. And wait, we bet your tax just like any other person. But for now, no, sports and sports related activity, yeah, in general, VAT like mostly a mamu flat rate.
Okay.
Like we do for the creatives.
Okay. Okay.
So that ebeboa ama proceeds now munya from games, at least be retaining a bit more, but retaining more, no, or say you're very accountable. Now you this can year in Yama ebema the sports to develop, especially football.
Very well, fantastic. But Minister, what about Sikasemno? A very critical part. And again, my question is that now we're African Games, no. Football, a man mema, a pick goal. But one of the federations are the highlight in this country, the Arm Wrestling Federation. Now it brings us back to the federations. How many sporting federations are recognized under your ministry?
Well, through briefing now, there were almost 49 federations, but a number of them, just for activity BAC or baby. Now you the letter about say you pay assistant, you pay moi now to facilitate for visas. Now you call and it ends. No real proven track record on the ground. Say omo baby.
Okay.
So one of the key things we're going to do is to reclassify all these other sports.
Okay.
You buy a reclassification. You know, they themselves know. So you to mean treaty all the other sports same. And you classify one to maybe category A, category B, category C, and maybe possibly say D crabbe more. So that the competitive ones are say, oh, you were enough talents currently and the rest, and we've shown proof in the past. So you're able to me winning medals. Olympic level and now athletics at the international level, and no better category A. And I don't think that they should be more than 10. They shouldn't be, they can't be more than 10.
The federations
are everyone in that category.
A no.
Then now you have B, almost more potential to win at the continental level.
Okay.
But to me call beyond the continental level, no, so now you are only B. Then the other ones, to me, are remaining in the remaining category for national purposes and recreational activities. Of course, even the competitive category A sports and B sports also can also be done for recreational purposes.
Okay.
And yet, maybe category A for recreational, something that is competitive at the international level that we have advantage over can also be a recreational sports. Every sports is recreational.
Okay.
Even soccer, football is recreational.
Yeah.
We to make a ball soccer just for the recreation of it. You say parliament ball against. We are not playing it because of any competitive. It's recreational for the fun of it. So all these categories will still fall under recreational purposes, but we'll have to categorize them and see the levels of funding.
Okay.
That you more move to me a call for all kinds of things. Anymore, you need to build your levels locally, nationally, and so now obeying class outside. Because you don't have to rush and get out there now. You are not placing, you are not doing anything. No, we are not going to rush through and say because say international BBB because now you register no. We need to reorganize our federations and our associations very well. And the new director of National Sports Authority must be Ubia Owontiasie.
Okay.
Because it is not the minister and also Obeyes RDA directly. It is the responsibility of the National Sports Authority.
Okay.
To regulate all SADA say Bibia then the issue of our pitches are jaya to say and all this is the responsibility of the National Sports Authority.
Okay.
So, you are appointing Nipa Ukura title, Director General, National Sports Authority, Deputy Director General, National Sports Authority, Chairman of the Board. And so,
one for Professor and come
Professor. No, I think that it's going to be different now.
Okay.
Yeah, the work of Sheho now we say we are. The same way we put you in there, the same way we take you out.
Relegated.
Yeah, the same way we take you out. So the National Sports Authority must be up and doing, and immediately one of the assignments will be to review and reclassify all these, find other ways of also generating revenue, and the revenue be directed into supporting the various activities. Because National Sports Authority or more estate department, maintenance unit, and the rest. Now, so you be stadia to deteriorate to the level that it has gone. Abra, Oshe people so Sika Yediako in the name of innovations.
Wow.
So I wouldn't understand.
Minister, still on the federations. How are you going to place checks and balances on the federations? No, my accountable to government because most of the time we better NPC or Norway visa racketeering blind for nipa able ADHD. Now say so many disgrace now. A lot of these federations are so no deba de letterheads near 4G and Neoma na a Magana, a bad name in the global space. No, how are you going to check these federations are obviously regulate no more buying a bemo needed M1?
Well, clearly, no, so Utie your man penny, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama were clear indications about Proye any Katashishe. And that explains why Ote oral.
Okay.
And he has indicated say it's not just going to be oral, but it's going to be there is going to be opal to go along with oral.
Okay.
Once o retrieve near yafa, I won't say yefano. Or beyen shishe so that bibisa then enkosubium. So there's Operation Prevent All Loot. So loot at all levels must be prevented.
Okay.
So abra yes loot who yare no na prevent so. So eshishe bebre beba na me mpese me jampe the gun. Let me wait for all systems to be set up now mobeti because sometimes ebi wo hona say onya bibi sumfa so a onya ma indication earlier na
wadana also
say ebi wo mo resist sa adie no o be resist. We want a certain surprise element also to come in, but accountability is going to be key.
Very, very key.
Untumin sorry keke emfa letter mba ministry say yemboa ana yem facilitate visas emma say we call competition abra won treye say you have competed, there's proof of a local league kura amoye eno ebeye basic.
Okay.
So that yemfa at least being call for competition bia nipa no gina say ring no na ugina all kun say pitch so na or perform you said bimfa no ye wow be say nipa yi or in bibia nkyere say this person is an athlete.
Okay.
So ye fa no keke e kan ho say oh because ya competition be because so and mostly you know this competition get announced a year or two before they happen. So omonya tepe no mo akoti federation no. Then watch as say omo ye bibi. So no, we are not going to tolerate that.
Okay.
You must prove a certain cycle of performance. Say Ghana, you are present in at least more than one region. Shown competition in the past over a certain period. When person say maybe 4 years
or 5 years.
5 years.
But a certain period.
A certain period.
Active, a certain period.
Active, a certain period before you come out. But of course, Abaina Kasanso should be very responsible because Abaina the name Eddie Nkrofo Munye journalist. Eddie Eko pay visas among say you the one who call competition be as journalist Abraham Munye journalist.
Yeah.
How can you check
the other federations? Okay.
Say who this are bonina? How can you check the other federations? So you yourself must be responsible.
Okay.
Then you can check others. But say, wow, we shall say, oh yes, Adiana. You can have the will to check will be for. So we all have to be very responsible in the way
Soccer is the most patronized and the most participated game in this country, and as such, a lot of sika is pumped there, more especially the Black Stars. The Black Stars the bomb match. Hon.Kofi my $2 million now. Home community no confess Canada abantentem. Do junior national teams na emma. How are you going to ensure say sika kakra the amount for the year no? Be evenly distributed other federations no ebenya bi Black Stars ebenya ne de others ebenya ne de na obi anso aniage na krum ha yasomadwe.
Well, ningina no na share any engagement. Yet na ho na say ye kan. Inyama bebre wo ho a ye betumi atwemu. But wo betwemu no so men fa wonko wo pe. Bi wo ho a mate people will say be decisive, strike, do this, do that. No correct.
Okay.
People will want to see the minister striking because nya akoso no enye won de. The national team is not owned by anybody. It's not owned by Omo manage team.
The football people.
Ghana for the year.
Yeah.
And Yediama say, for example, if he say
manage mine.
So if Ghanaians as shareholders are concerned, you would have to be concerned yourself.
Very well.
So Entumi Nkobanu say those who are managing the thing will think, say, all the shareholders, including even some of the football people, and sometimes including even those who are within or more managing or more consensus, so engagement is one way of resolving many of the issues. So we will have engagement. Yeah, engage here. It is say if you look, say Ebisiano or more used to some type of eduani. Say yeah, no say na bibinti or say what's sound. Wouldn't you mean for we pay? Say okay, I mean I'm here a jaya of ye, and then you see you try him, yeah. You may be speaking from the point of the purse that you have, and that is what you can afford.
Okay.
Now, so or more benefiting from Adiano in the past, or more enfanusa. But say what's nasi? Anyone can say, look, in the past, now you BBC, now you take this type of breakfast, now you take this lunch, now Bibiaba, between lunch and then dinner and so on and so forth. Weekend na yes. See the way anyamano eteno or say ye ABCD a film. Eye nyame ne pe na bi nyama sanjina ye a ye den ye de beba. Me sure say wo manumu ana ibusuafo no reasonable and sensible. There will be very minimal resistance.
Okay.
Even though enye ebinumu de, but there will be minimal resistance. Dan say, wa kotena ho because what you say, afedi your bank account no about down wonti. You mean to me ye then we treat you.
So you engage them.
Surely there will be engagement. Friday, my chief director HRO to, for example, the GFA say in 10 o'clock omuma yenye meeting or ministries conference. Part of the engagement process. Before me swearing in Ghana, we've had some unofficial engagement and briefing. So it's a matter of understanding.
Okay.
Even the playing body will have to engage. Maybe conditions be in the past. Maybe a may not be possible. And I believe, say, who engage you, they will still play for their nation. They will still play for their nation without all those other things. They say maybe appearance fee and all those kind of things. You know, look, those players also love their country.
Am I getting the impression, say, BB, say appearance fee, 100,000 your co-work up, $100,000 appearance fee for each player, for management committee members, and no sano at your time, you be here for winning bonus of $10,000, and then you never engage them.
I will not answer a direct question to that. And America said there will be engagement. There's going to be engagement. If we engage, because you need to put everything at their disposal. Maybe no be me can't say, oh, jai players in my me too, I will engage them.
You'll be part of that.
I'll be part of the engagement.
But the $100,000
I will lay bare the issues. I will lay bare the issues. But like I said, we are if engagement part and parcel of the processes of taking care of a family. This is a family. This is a family. Yeah, your mind.
Yeah.
There should be engagement and there should be reasonability. Who engage you with all the things are available? Now still, son or more can. Please ask for the playing body. But more motion on Sunday. On the Ehodia, you will be
But don't be sad because football people back to the Sika, FIFA Sika. And you until I don't know better.
But I know FIFA, a boy. But before FIFA, FIFA, Omono move maintaining pitches now, ball, no maintaining.
Debbie.
Buses now, move better than FIFA, and
Debbie.
Qualifiers now, ball, Spanish, FIFA na, Edeba. So, answer na FIFA, de Bibi Bebano. Na ya then na ya spending on minus cash.
But
yes, spending enye debia na yes spending ye qualify.
Yeah.
To say ye ko Afcon yi yan spending ska.
Yes, spending pa.
Ye qualify ye. Yan qualify ye benya BB.
David.
2018 Russia hosted World Cup no. Yan spending ska during the qualifiers. Yanko no ye nya BB. Why no spending aska no FIFA.
Aban no.
Enya aban. So aban lose 2018. And to say 2022 ye to me call Qatar. Na say FIFA ema BB a eno nche say ene de ye free sika bi na e free baby abeto ho. We have spent over the period in building this team, in even sometimes building the playing body from the junior levels. Now, what spending in different ways.
Okay.
Before the professional point, so there is expenditure that is incurred by the state.
But I buy no one national team for revenue, on your from fast and responsibility. And the side buy a coin into a coin with a
coin. We as responsibility at the same time. I will say a boy or minor kanko.
Okay.
So obey a choir kanko. There's no need for you to do it. That's why ansana ube constructed kwano. There are factors I will consider the economic value of the route.
Okay.
The risk opposite to nipa omu use kwan. These are two key factors, and of course the availability of funds. Key, economic value. 2, risk. So 1 year, a day since so na edebe bre omo ye then they use it. And well, you may construct a road not because you want, but it must have an impact. And you say you are be na every baby, but failure. Instead say you are no a best spend 2 weeks on the road, you know. So see idea within a day, you know, a beba. Say car na e kwa ko fight you na ba because e kwa no nye car no be say. Enti car owner no the cost no be can the cost of transportation enti obe charge you more afei dey obe charge less enti baby aduane ne ba no aduane ne bo no so be den e be ba from so there may not be direct benefits but there's so many indirect benefits. Anything that America earlier say sports has its business part. It contributes to GDP. It contributes to GDP. And he said, there were other sports to also develop. Now, Obakwa, Yedi Sika Keshem, Omukonya Bibi. Now, feel say, oh, Mina Menya, and Timenkwana, Media. Now, Ubema, Omo Mwakano, Ombebre. Again, it is say, maybe you are investing in one person. You pion, you are Tony and Coco, you are Tony and Goody Bibia, Edward school. Say, who ya? Now we shall say, who ye, Juma, now we near Bibia. Ubeboa, in your no more Mwaka, no Muso, Ichibano, no Musa, then, or Musa, but now fade away, we are, see you know, Mena Mako Misuku, and Timijima Kitia. There's no reason why I was saying, me boa more Mwaka. Now, so ye, the Busianing in Anna Yakabum,
yeah, they have support.
I
get your point.
Sika, ye, de boa, maybe the senior team and now, football, no, or minister. It could have gone to other sports, but you said, okay, ahano, there was some advantage. Until ye boamwa, the chances of getting some support, no so, high. Until ye lucky na say a bar, we should be able to plow it into other areas.
Okay.
And your platform say, ye bet it. Say sana kosodia, mona more ecosystem, no matter as you say it. Say sana, say ni amokano, sana tibia, and ye is wrong.
Okay,
we have to stop.
Okay,
but because na say enya sa na eti so a me magana for ati say dey enya sa na omo ye no e ba oman na efa.
Okay,
now omo di enya o say omo.
No, but for that one they say you practical example the last World
Cup.
Well,
I want to get there and see things for myself.
Very well. So and now what kind of engagement that's it? I am getting the impression say who engage with the FND definitely because you are what the can come here to say you scrutinize the appointment of the technical team. You do it's an engagement, the best started from there. And of course, who leads us for the rest of the qualification? Say an engagement.
Say my more information say we are engaging. Engaging we are. Me I say you did tujano, you did tuja. Me I say you did tujano, you did.
So almost when you're technical person to coach us, they won't make
and America say you engaging we are. Nya engagement ni nya ebe film aba no nya wo say ye di tudwa no ye di betudwa
the relationship ben na person who between who and the FA because a minister bi aba FA president ya no so tia we anim hwe ha na we anim hwe ha no ono pride was only opportunity say we dibri emfama na and ko be dissolve the Ghana Football Association no relationship ben na yen expect from more
me position and say me kanu earlier say me who obia say ono no ye problem.
Okay.
Bibi higher. Yepe akwanchire, yepe say you solve this problem. I see everybody as part of the solution.
Okay.
That's my approach. And to me who efi for no say omo no ye problem. I don't see them like that. I feel say yen nyina yetina around the table la, yen nyina ye betumi aka ho ama ye nya the solution to your problems.
Very well.
So that is my approach. And the main man say, "When na woye obi a oye boni." And the yentum mo fangu so.
Okay.
Na yempamu free ho there be.
Okay.
They say, what did Christ say? He said, "He that has seen not before should cast the first stone."
Yeah.
In our fields of work, maybe we have failed in one time or the other. but your man opportunity you may end up also excelling. So now you analyze it. Well, you took this decision. You sent these people home, but you kept this person. What was the reason?
Okay.
Is it justifiable? If it's justifiable, fine. But say out of that, you have justification for other consideration. Then we all say, we will arrive at that.
Very well.
So I'm not seeing anybody as a problem, even though I know there's a problem.
Okay.
But my approach is say, I don't see you because I feel say you too, you have some passion and energy in you, which you are contributing. So that is the approach. Maybe the GFA or the FA,
yeah.
For issues, and no more say I have heard all those things. But me, I don't see them as the problem.
Okay.
We will engage.
Okay.
And the outcomes of the engagement, and mostly it is after you give the opportunity. Of course, your period you need. We don't have time.
Time in your crowd.
And your period those kind of engagement. A true point to be that say you still don't want to be and no. When we see you as a problem, then you don't blame anybody. Okay. And yes, sir, Maka said, who is a problem? Who is a problem? Today you continue to be a problem forever. No, there will be a point.
Okay.
Where if you are not willing to be part of the solution, then you'll be treated as a problem that must be dealt with in the course of dealing with the solution.
I get your point. Because as a listening leader there, I am sure that your inability to qualify for Morocco 2025, you know, what? And the Ghana probably can't say Otuado na problem or a problem into one. Be sure say also what is your position on that?
Well, I have said we will engage. Well, okay, I say, technical person. So there are a number of technical advisors available to me, and we are in a course consulting.
Okay.
You're consulting, you're engaging with the FE now. We will arrive at a decision whether near Ewo Hono is good to go with enhancements.
Okay.
And now, oh no, or say, yes, son, so out of all those engagements, we arrive at a decision now. Because me too, I will be extremely happy. Say, Yentumianko Afcon, Yebeko World Cup.
Yeah.
Na Yenko Keke. Yebeko Aboa our last record at South Africa 2010.
Okay.
That would be my joy.
So what specially
Bibia, well, anything the share engagement, that's it, and we will engage. And I believe, say, look, they may not talk about it publicly. They may sure say, Akoye Ferrier Amaye, like for the first time in many years at African level, football, Asia, Ghana,
yeah.
And Ghana be kokra ye kahuna say ye koye the last one na group stage no na ya parking yentumi anhye bia. It doesn't speak well. People are not just happy. And I believe, being the human psychologist, that sometimes I believe say more in charge, you know. If they have some conscience, would also know say a idea was say ye baby. Yes, sir, we can continue doing the same thing and expect a different results. The leader, mother, you have to do something different. So we the same route now. So now ho without balancing and true. What you next time we you say baby or say we use step in such a way say then won't think top because you know the condition of the road. So
okay.
I don't want to preempt and start indicating out there say say Argentina will share one so you are already indicating to the public say now the engagement will be useless per se.
But Minister Manfo say Yentimian qualify for this AFCON because we hear the history of a year Ghana since 2004 no every other AFCON be a qualified call to say nanu die Yentimian qualify. Amanfo say Yentimian qualify I think call for the head of some people within the federation leadership because Oma fail it big time. What is AFCON yarding?
Well, people do things for many reasons because Okraku to say yenimu ekwa pammi say munyesi enfama ye nti muntimi anye dia ene mumfanto na monko. They are not wrong in thinking that way.
Okay.
Ebi wo hoso a ene na esi ye nti a yankoso maybe there will be something there bigger than me anayenim. Again, meaning say kasa bebre akoso. Now I am the minister for sports and recreation, so I need to be careful. Me ameka ewo abonting and sana engagement mekoso.
Okay.
So as much as possible, no, whilst it is the right of Ghanaians to be angry, so Omeka say, "Muntimi amfa yan konti, mun free her and so on and so forth." No, I as a minister, no, I need to have some level of what engagement.
Okay.
Before I say me join it, so type of conversation, and then they say that, but I'm no more the minister. So kasa ebe kabibia, it should be like decisions out of engagement. Memeka omo omunya sa access no. Zena meso me kebi keke. So mumma yenye engagement.
Okay.
Now out of the engagement in the ABCBA no.
Okay.
Mobeti.
There are discussions or the corridors of the FSA on person increase the tenure of presidency, from 2 terms of 4 years to 3 terms of 4 years each. Meaning that discussion about table neswa. What would be your position on that discussion?
Well, Fambra now listen being discussed because mine Nankasa Krano 2 terms of 4 years for a president of the whole Ghana, including football and Bibia. So why would we want to? That's immediate issue are marriage in relation to that. So there are a number of more things are in here, especially the football system, no than tenure.
Yeah.
So we be samia nyama higher football management and tenure. And the biggest problem. So anybody who puts tenure ahead of those things, and he has
a problem.
He may have a problem. He may have a problem. Me, I must say, me, a sports person, I don't think that I'll put tenure over the many things that I see around me. And I will advise them. Say, I don't think tenure is one of the problems. Football management. Okay. Tenure is not one of them at all. It's not. I don't see tenure as a problem.
Okay.
Yes, solve all the other teaching problems are higher. Now tenure APA will deal with tenure, but I don't see tenure as a problem.
Minister, Ayana Manfu bisa government contribution to the development of the Ghanaian elite. Me should say development, the best shall say from the grassroots. New plans are for grassroots development of our elites and I say your talent, Now if you drew the Ghana Premier League, the state a woman Sikasem, Yebo League any sponsor, Nina Aye Dajane, Yebo League security in some basa, Nano Crade, now will be I say kind Akawana and say what plans now work for the Ghana Premier League plus the grassroots. Mamintio Kakra.
May Chrobi bio paper so now I hope so. This is
a triangle.
But I'm with a base like a pyramid.
Yeah.
So a honey grassroots.
Okay.
And a honey esroho. Under normal circumstances, investment, especially state investment, ewo grassroots no ko say eye kese pa. Na basro no na state nensa eti na other business interest no betumi aye den abam because ahano ababe profitable at this stage. Omo ababe professionals or getting into becoming professionals. So interest, business persons will be interested in investing on Musika because the reaping stage.
Okay.
Now so offer yen investment in sports are
Adani. Okay.
I say hana anko say yedi kakra bi na yedi ko. So your triangle is not able to stand, it's not stable. Me pese me dani no.
Okay.
Now a hack say no emra down so that it can be stable.
Wow.
That's the objective that I want to, so that at the end of the day, no, the state investment in sports, no, income more
on the grassroots.
At the grassroots.
Okay.
So that omo imagine babe professional now profitable, no. Individuals wait me aye then akum because omo who say akrai what talent then me support kwa me brand eko bata ho a mfaso bebaso and so on and so forth. So that is my number one objective. Say as soon say the way I at you, I want more of it to go to the grassroots level. Any commercially viable, but a honor talent in the before it gets to the commercial viable state. Obi to me and our companies be Edio Musika.
Very well, beautiful. What about the Ghana Premier League? Any plans? When we said the president of the land, like I said, Obama almost support allowances, kakra, any other. But for the first time in so many years, Ghana bought a league without a title sponsor, a broadcast sponsor, and over here in pitches near. I mean, why wouldn't dada? Any plans are for the Ghana Premier League?
It's been of major concern to us, and Untina your manifesto, and we mean to keep it playing body registered players of the Premier League, Omubenya support kakra every system are buying and we're going to commence some engagements on that. Now you so how that is going to be there. Of course, there will be engagement with sponsors. So now but before sponsor the clubs themselves must improve on corporate governance system. And accountability, transparency, and ways of doing things must improve. Acts of hooliganism or say then ye free.
Okay.
Because when you see one so train and we to mean koye bibisa now obejin say obi the brand beba beto so because it will affect nipa no so the brand. So we need to behave ourselves as club owners or club managers, as fans and as playing body. Your responsibility to commit to such sport in order say you be attract the kind of support and attention and there are other laws here or whether we think that it should still be there now because this whole idea say alcoholic and other beverage companies cannot sponsor sports because they cannot advertise at certain times and so on and so forth. Should we really continue to keep that? Meaning, say Supreme Court are ruling on one part about these our celebrities advertising and so on and so forth. But should we continue to have it in our statute books? Because the EPLs and the rest are Henneken is sponsoring. The Guinness and then the rest they are sponsoring. And it's being aired on DSTV channels. And say if you be brave and no more DSTV. So Omofra na I say young person or move DSTV channels with Heineken and then others showing their advert. So why are we denying ourselves this revenue anka ebeboa yebe support clubs na ma omu enya bibi? I would prefer they sponsoring and advertising and the state and the clubs getting more funding to be able to expand on facilities. Ebema Emofrano, after they have watched, they will have opportunity to practice positive sports rather than watching it on DSTV and not getting the facility to train now rather. So we have to look at Sam Rano and see what we can do about it. So we'll be having engagement with the Attorney General and then the Minister for Health, so that from the FDA angle, amendments also so that we can benefit from those systems.
That's what Boama, ye Premier League, a sponsorship. This critical a year and best of mame, because Nimseka a very, very difficult for the ministry. And of course, okay, the existing state infrastructure, stadium, how do I maintaining it a problem. Sikaka Kreya, Honorable Eba Ministry, Kwambe so near Befa, ye bet me to be maintaining facilities na ye standard na okay, nan could do baby, baby na cafe. More games. Well,
maintenance is key because, especially when Nika say, we need be massive renovations. Anything that they or say we make sure say we are nkaka main jama and say to the pointer you will not even find the money to do it. So regular routine maintenance. Because regular and routine maintenance to a very, very large extent, so that Miyamano and deteriorate to the point even playing pitch crown we are not able to keep it. Maybe say inner things be na maybe abro so pitch in India, there should be no question about our pitches. So we would work on this. Okay, kakrana ebano. Kwame na yebefaso. Miayenya so ye the venue numa orders to use Mia ebebano and ye do we reinvest in maintaining the facilities and na no the eba na ye Christmas bonus. All these will have to be accountable and transparent in the handling of the finances.
Honorable Minister O'Brien, we JDM in the campaign. I can say African, African games.
All African games.
Sika Ikuru, Sika or Babema, Obamia investigation into that one. Make sure say it falls within your.
I can tell you. If we don't do an audit or a probe into the All African Games. And because for what has come to my attention is bad already. From what I have seen is bad. And the idea we'll go into, so that never again should we repeat such a thing. Say or mine ne resources in any way and in any form.
It's the way you went to your Kotokoni. Now Kotokoni also ye say bias kakra bebe has interest about Kotoko against other clubs. No.
That's why being FA and I'm just a minister. I'm just a minister, so I don't really have that say. I'm not the one going to manage the clubs and why we've had other ministers in the past almost supported one club or the other. It didn't spoil anything. So what is wrong if I'm Krobier? There's absolutely nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong. So there's nothing wrong. I don't see anything wrong. I'm not going to do anything. Look, Krobier Asantiko doesn't need any influence from anywhere. It's a celebrated team. Yes, we know we have our challenges. We don't believe in maybe yen member ewo surunti or koye nyama bi to undermine. They say we don't believe in that. Fair play has always been our principle.
Oh, okay.
Fair play has always been our principle. So fair play will continue to rule.
Okay.
Maybe Medisan Shisheno Beba Ama, all the other teams will benefit because that has been the spirit of Kotoko.
Okay.
Say they be a pepperio. And none okay. So that's what I'm going to bring in.
I'm not waiting me down be a short only. But only chief director, Kaswama briefing, who predecessor amount handing over notes. Financial position of the ministry, he said, saying, Mujina ye, a year, and I said, Kawa,
a kappa or near about to my attention, 468 million Ghana cedis. And then say, yes, every other time, no, for even all African games, accommodation, participating teams, yet the hotels be break. All African games. Meanwhile, all the participating teams pay. So I would have to be finding out. Say, and we enjoy just allowing the institutions our morenda services to suffer. And now Sikano Yediakwa Bibi for other than near participating teams in any athletes, any nations, each year at the Maya. We'll have to find out all these issues. It's not fair.
Okay.
It's not fair. Maybe some of the hotels are big hotels, they can manage. Small hotels are almost facilities, can near any insurance, BBR, and some of them have to go and even hire new staff during that period to be able to support to render services to athletes now more facility now basically it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
Wow. Honorable, they make major acquaintance. A year before the work has a first class ticket, the woman for being to Quabim.
Oh, the president has indicated. Say, first class ticket is a no. President Naka. And once the president have authorized us, we too must make sure, say, it trickle down to everywhere. It must trickle down to everywhere.
But national team need to I have more charter flights at the moment. It's first class, baby.
Well, say charter flight in India. Then your charter flight. So I know the space in India.
Okay.
So that one it is a chartered flight. Now mostly chartered flights now able use in Ukraine. There will be no like anything like first class.
Oh, okay.
Usually when you go to the ticketing companies, more plane a kesia maybe first class business and sana economy premium all the way to the last, but which are usually a smaller size plane if you hokra one business and sheda in a few seats business seats, and then a lot of them are economy seats, because such chartered flights normally for shorter routes, and our routes are any direct flights are air commercial. You have to go through so many complex routing, and so now could do venue center.
Mati say a Black Galaxies 2022 bonuses no still I am say nyanko.
Bonuses there baby. Coaches cry even CPA
any what be two problem ba.
Well, we will see what we can do.
Hey, but honorable final question. Black Stars you took one. Black Stars you took one.
Yeah, no final, mommy.
Me final. Me who's the time now so. Black Stars you took one. No, me took one.
Well, it depends. There will be some occasions that if it becomes necessary, but any idea be regular. There will be occasions if it becomes very necessary. Why not? But you're not a technical person.
Okay.
Whatever psyching that you need to do, you can do it before then. But in the course of maybe the competition, you show your face. Why not? You have to be there. If your presence will add value to the participation, why not? Every trip that the minister will embark, you must assess the necessity, the value of it.
Okay.
whether in yana say oko no keke. No, so
ko pepe DM keke.
Oh no, being already now, I don't like traveling. Traveling is not part of my hobby. I remember those times with President Rawlings. Do a visas in USA now person over renew and them so that I to be back now we see visa one time he has to call the one embassy that night to make sure the next day I got visa and to follow up. so we will go only when we have to go, when it becomes necessary.
But Ghana for some country say the only way we be massive support from Ghanaians and say we be making sure say any would be a plan be true. I'm yet qualifying for the World Cup. That one, that assurance must be given to Ghanaians. Say and no dear ubenya ye maximum support in and out.
Nia also me as sports minister. Nia buying also we will do it and even do it more. But I pray say knowing young players so almost committed. Nyame Eddie Bonibia yaye hunu.
Okay.
Or the better
okay.
Ama akwanu aye den ebie edi amaye say ya na yaye ye hu boni say binumu na omo edikan ebo ball ne maye yaye hu boni bi na omo aka bibi egu yeso a nti a enko de we ayeko a ye besre say onfa moma ye mfa nche ye hu na ye nyina ye mfa akumapa infantai yen teams no yen national teams no, not just Black Stars, the female teams, the male teams now at all levels yen fa akumapa infantai omuichi na nkunimde ne ye den embra say obi afa ho ebufuo because ya ye ne bibi nti de bia ne mpa ebo ne say enye ye mfa amade na nipa no say otie mi amesre no
ene o de pama ne George Free ne Abdul Salam nyina nkasa
o ma ye mfa nche na ye mfa akuma ba akon
okay
emfantechi muso a moye nsenchirofo a moye sports related no so meaning say yes as for criticizing no eno na ema yegina yie we welcome it but mumma yenye no in such a way so say ebeboa sports development no bibi ye boni a yenka papa so a yebeye a ebema yakoyi ni so yenka the way sometimes you praise the EPLs the other leagues La Liga and any keka honu nyina no yen ye bibi so kakra sa enfama yen local ones
okay 10% betting tax in the send they obetwa be share sports fund mo me abolish ni keke mo
no on winnings we are abolishing it policy the winnings the taxing betting wins a commitment but when him say who stake here tax so
okay
there's a tax on every stake
okay
so tax na on stake no and America say because the bet is sports related and the tax na ye on stakes when we establish the sports fund, a percentage of the tax on the stakes, should be a direct source of fund for the sports fund. Now, you best answer why you yankasa ye lottery.
Okay.
Sports lottery. So,
okay.
So you be no once a week and twice a week so and modalities in the bar. And luckily for me. The immediate past Director General of National Lotteries, MPCC, so he's in Parliament. It make it easier.
Okay.
Also listening to him and listening to all other persons. We developed the system up to the point. Unfortunately, it wasn't implemented. But a major source of funding into the sports fund, because we need to develop our sports. We need to have a university that will train sporting persons so that Nkobano said. Coaches are just former practitioners. There's a difference between who chair there, any adieno, not every practitioner is a good teacher or a good coach. So, also, training and we need to establish facilities for that. Even the media. How many of us understand beyond football and boxing and maybe athletics?
Okay.
You can say munkoye commentary and for any other sports. We will not know how to even score it or how to even pass commentary on it. So we all need that level of training and expertise in various sports.
Okay.
It is out of having such facilities and training locally. So we are committed. We need funding to be able to do Sanya.
Very well, very well. With the message about my own concern, was saying, I hosted Honorable Kofi Adams and Kwabena Duncan at GBC in Cape Coast when he was at Disco teaching chemistry. I have known him as a man of few words, but brilliant, smart, and tough. He was very honest and generous too. Trust me, he will succeed. And he has our rallying support. Find a way to thank him for me. And now Obasian was here passports doing an enhanced vetting of Kofi Adams. And OTSUP anyway message is really also my boss room now at the Abba. But honorable, when you part one of our interview at the headquarters of Ghana Sports. And I'm Embreno, minimum pressure was super and Tia de Bessia. Now you're Dawas and you show well. Part 2 no. Mr. Wa Yem Famra, because questions lay 400. Yeah, you move 50 pay. And headquarters, your
headquarters, now Kobe, and the headquarters, your best number.
Fantastic. So, I was saying, and something, I come here, question, as a Ghana for one, something, you know, together. Kakra. Ghana, I was here going forward, Miss Ebeye de Papa between the ministry and the GFA. De papa because in some honorable nyina no e ade e toaso munyansa wom as a Ghana for kasa GF for no they don't listen. GF for they think say Ghana Blasters na eyo modia GF ket Okraku Gfa they feel like team no eyo modia nti jamo be ka no e na eye adwuma and ebusia say those days no atwam honorable kam ye nyina ate say atwam say de Nana Akufo-Addo kan no. We should rather be citizens, not spectators. Say no, ye just spectators of Blasters. Ye part of Blasters management team no. Blasters management committee no. We have a role to play. E kwanya Blasters befa so asaba be krabehwe. E ba be chese e team e be attractive. E be chi obia no. No, we will be part and parcel of that. Le ye nyina hwe say team no e sa be gina na so. Enti abusuan ensem honorable kan ne de minim se honorable ensem ka wo nya ya unya platform bi anka obeka no na say honorable e ka e de ma abusuan che wadwene e comment section wo honorable Kofi Adams ne ensem a okae wo abro kopiem e wo asempa no ma mente wonka e comment section wo na bibibia enye de enye kama medin e de Kobe and I wait my friend Kobe finest is abishia.